Betafpv sent me a new drone to test out, and it has some big claims. The Pavo 20 Pro is a 2.2-inch ducted drone designed to work with the O3 air unit, with the claim that it was specifically designed for freestyle flying. Now, I don't know about you, but any freestyle quad I've ever flown doesn't have ducks on it, so I'm a little bit skeptical about how well this drone actually performs. In this video, I will be unboxing the drone, showing you the process of building it and setting it up in Betaflight. I'll show you my first flight, I'll show you a freestyle flight, and then I'm gonna let someone who has never flown anything other than a DJI FPV drone fly it. And then at the end, I'll give you my thoughts on it and if this drone actually lives up to the promises. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. This channel is self-supported, so if you find this information useful, please support me on Patreon so I can keep making these videos. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start off by saying that Betafpv sent me this. They did not pay for it and they do not get to see it before I release this. So here is the Pavo 20 Pro. Pulling it out of the box, it feels really solid in your hands, if I'm being honest. Then you've got the LED strip that goes around the drone, and then there's the canopy for the O3 air unit that screws onto the drone. This thing actually feels really solid. I was quite impressed with the plastic that they use. Then you've got the propellers, the USB port, and additional antennas. You also have the screw kit, and that bracket that's in there is for if you want to attach something other than the O3 air unit. And then you've got your product card, and that is everything that comes in the box. Now, Betafpv did send me some batteries in order to test this out. They also sent me some additional propellers, but those things do not come with it. This is just the drone. All right, so we are going to start building this thing. First things first, though, I got to figure out how to build it. I've never built a Betafpv drone before, so I'm sure it's the same as building most other drones, but I'm going to see online if there's a guide. So the biggest thing is, if you're just getting into FPV, how simple and easy is it to combine this drone with the O3 air unit? Because they don't come with any video systems in it. So we're going to look online and see what we've got in order to help us put this thing together. I will say I did scan the QR code that came with the drone, and it did not take me to any direct links on how to put this together. So right now I've got my iPad over here, and I'm on the Betafpv website with the Pavo 20 Pro listing. And so it says, click here to watch installation guide video for DJI O3 air unit. That is what we want. So we're going to watch that and hopefully build this along with it. It looks like that this is a full installation guide. So we're just going to go with it and see what happens. First thing you need is tools. We got tweezers and a screwdriver. Okay, so the first things first is we're going to replace antennas. Okay, so we've got the DJI stock antenna off. Let's grab these little guys and pop them on here. Boom. 2 antennas on. Pop this in here like this. And you can bring the antennas in and they just pop in like that. All right, so now I need to screw the camera in. It's wild to me how this thing just like pops into the canopy and it's just being held there properly. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is kind of twist this cable up in here and then we can put it here. Okay, so we are okay with that. All right, the wires are tucked in-ish. Okay, so we've got our air unit put inside of the thing, the canopy. Installing gummies is the worst thing in the entire world. Okay, cool. That wasn't too bad. All right, so the way that I do gummies is I kind of put half an edge in there and then put pressure on it and just use this little tool and just like jab it and poke it in there. All 4 gummies are in. Look at that. So you're gonna take the screw in from the bottom. Probably easier if I took the propellers off before I started trying to build this, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be smart, Johnny? So yeah, if you have trouble getting access into here, just take the propellers off because that's the smart way to do things. All right, so we're gonna take this and we're going to align it up. And I think I'm going to get like 1 screw started and then get another screw started, and just get them all started before I clamp down on this thing, because I feel like that would be a better solution. I think I want to plug in this back here while it is unattached. Actually, you know what? We're going to take this off. We're going to unscrew this, and we're going to do this while it's unattached. There it is. We got it in. She is plugged in. Okay, cool. So now we can screw it all together. Okay, I think I used the right screws. I was going to say, these aren't tightening down as tight as I thought they would be on these gummies, but that's probably a good thing. But they're as tight as they will get. Okay, so we are all tightened down and good to go. We have a drone with an air unit in it. Was that it? Was that all I needed to do? Bruh. So we've got the drone put together. Everything is correct the way that it should be. So here's the only issue that I have now, is this has the Crossfire receiver in it from them, and it's already sandwiched in there, but it is not paired with my Crossfire controller. So I'm gonna have to take off what we just did and then take the drone apart in order to pair Crossfire with this drone. Also, I have to do that in order to get the LEDs to work. Okay, I'm an idiot. I lied. I don't have to take the drone apart. I just took the battery strap out, and that exposed everything that I needed underneath. So, yeah, we are good to go. That was really dumb. So all I have to do is reach down in here with a pair of tweezers in order to get the LED wires out. Look at that. Okay, so cool. The way I did this, if you can see, and I'll zoom it in a whole lot. So right there, I've got my pair button and I've got access to my LED strip. And then so you can see that this LED strip is tiny, so it needs to be able to do something like this. And so it'll go right here, and then it'll tuck into here. Well, would you look at that? Okay, now we have a good to go drone. I might actually just put like a dab of glue right there for that, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall out. But dang, this thing is solid. Okay, sick. I am so excited for this, and I'm really happy that I did not have to retake it apart. That is the best feeling ever, because I cannot tell you how many times I take apart and put back together drones because I did something wrong. And I'm glad to know that that was not the case this time. We've got my computer, we've got the drone, we've got my controller and a USB cable, and now we're gonna plug it in and see what happens. So we will plug this thing in with this tiny little port, little baby port. Oh, I don't like that. That's and she's in Betaflight. Okay, let me turn on this controller. Also, this controller is dope. If you want me to do a review on this controller, I'm going to, because this thing is insane. All right, so we're gonna switch this to Crossfire. We have Crossfire on. So first things first is we're gonna set up the Crossfire module. Binding, okay. If I go into receiver, yep, all right. So we've got things happening. So let's go ahead and program this. So our yaw is correct, our pitch is right, and our roll is right. Wow, I think that might be the first time I've ever plugged in a controller and it's been correct, like 100% correct. Okay, sick. So the controller is now bound to the drone, so we're gonna come in here and we're gonna do some configuration stuff. Actually, just kidding, we're not doing any of that. Failsafe, yeah. yeah, it's just going to drop it. Presets, don't need any of those. PID tuning, here we go. So we're going to go to rate profile. So these are set up at 670, 670. That seems to be about right. I'm going to leave it on for this first test. I'm going to leave the rate profile 1, just the standard rates. And then I'm going to go into rate profile 2 and change them to my rates that I would like. So the way I normally have it is we'll do like, I want to say I keep mine in like 550s for fly throughs, and we'll change this to like 510 on there, put some expo on it. We'll just do 0.1 for now. Actually, we'll do 0.25. We'll give it some oomph. And then I'm guessing that the throttle mid is going to be about 30. And then we'll do this at about 30.3. We'll do 0.35. We'll see how that throttle curve works. And then, yeah, we can save that. Okay, so that's rate profile 2, and then rate profile 1 is the stock rates that it comes with. And then for rate profile 3, I'll normally do some like freestyle rates on that. So we'll take it up to 800 for for all these, and then I normally keep this at about 720, and then I'll increase this to about 130. I'll probably mess around with these a little bit later, but this is kind of where I keep it at, and then we'll do my expo at 0.25. And the reason why I do my yaw less than everything else is because I use too much yaw, and so I'm trying to fix that. And then I don't do any throttle curves on it. So we'll save that, and I'll show you why I'm doing all of this, because this controller is amazing. So then we've got receiver. Okay, all of that stuff is good. I already know that. Modes, here we go. So mode, switch 1, that's that switch. That's what we want. And then, oh, I know what I need to do. I'll fix that in a second. So then this is what it has as like my angle modes and stuff. We're not going to do that because this is my angle mode switch that I have used. So we're going to go auto, that's aux 3. So this forward is normal, angle, and then I never do horizon. So we'll take that off the drone. Nah, we'll leave it because I need to test it. So we'll see. Go to horizon, make that aux 3. And then heads free, fail safe. Beeper is not aux 3, it is aux 6. This is the button that I use for my beeper. And then let's see here, angle mix, OSD disable, LED low, switch off LED strip output. Ooh, what do we want to program this one to? I can have it my arm switch or my pre-arm switch. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Pre-arm switch. Let's see here. Flip over after crash is going to be this one. Auxiliary 4. Oh, that one right now is programmed to turn on and off. The user 1 aux 4, that's the one that I need to switch to. So that's normally what I do my pre-arm switch for. And it doesn't look like I've got, yeah, I do have a pre-arm. We'll do that one. So I can do pre-arm, which will turn on the lights, and then we arm it. So adjustments is only enabled in expert mode. And what we're going to do here is we're going to enable these two. We'll do aux 2 for each of them. And then we'll set, just a little little baby range, and we'll do rate profile selection. And then we'll take this one, do another little baby range, put that right in the middle. And then this one will be rate profile correction, or selection, sorry. Oh, not aux3, aux2, aux2. And then we'll adjust this one to be all the way down here. And that one will be rate profile selection. So what's nice is now I've got 3 different rate profiles within my drone. So I've got the normal, I've got slow cinematic stuff, and then I've got my race rates. So the only thing that is left is we need to plug in the O3 air unit and get that updated, which is super simple. And then we'll connect it to goggles and we'll take it for a test flight. Okay, we've got the drone all put together. It's connected to the goggles. It's connected to the controller. We're going to plug it in and we're going to fly it. This is the first test flight with the Pavo 20 Pro. So we're going to start off with the stock rates, and just see how it does. I'm going to be flying it inside, which is never a good thing. I'm just kidding. For first flights, I don't like doing them inside, but we're going to do it anyways. So we'll pre-arm. And we're flying. Okay. This actually feels really good right off the bat. All right, look at us go. Feels pretty responsive. The throttle's in a good spot. All right, okay. Okay, big baller. It feels like it's got power. It does not feel like heavy at all. Sometimes with these smaller drones, they feel kind of heavy, but I mean, I'm pretty impressed. I'm being very gentle with it because obviously it's my first flight, so I don't want to crash it, but we're flying. I got a little tiny bit of the propeller guards in the corner of my goggles, but that's honestly okay. Yeah, I can tell this thing has some power to it. Oh, come on, go forward. There we go. Get it, girl. All right, we're doing good. I like this drone. The stock rates aren't bad on it at all for flying inside. I'm sure it'll be better once I can take it outside and it's not raining anymore, but like, you know, it's pretty decent. Not mad at all. All right, cool. Well, let's bring it in and land it. Boom. Oh, okay. All right, we like this drone. Whew, that air unit gets hot, hot, hot. Goodness gracious. Yeah, no, that was pretty awesome. I liked that a lot. We're definitely going to do some more flights with this sucker because that was super sick. So one of the claims with this drone is that it's a freestyle machine, according to Betafpv. So I'm here at my favorite park and we're going to test it out and see if this thing can actually freestyle or if it's just going to flop. I'm going to keep it all at the stock rates, and we're going to test it out and see what it can do. All right, stock rates. Okay, it's got some throttle power. Let's just get in. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, this thing's gonna be awesome. I can already tell. That was insane. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, calm down, Johnny boy. This is sick. Yeah, it definitely, I mean, it's got some punchiness to it. Okay, all right. So I'm getting used to where this throttle curve is at, because I do believe in my rates earlier there was a throttle curve in the stock rates. So that's what we're flying right now. It feels pretty snappy, nothing too crazy, but it definitely gets after it, that's for sure. Yeah, it's got some punchiness. Okay, I like this. This is good because this is what I want to start using for my drone interviews, is this drone. And the fact that we can do all of this stuff definitely makes it to where I want to be using it for that. The flicking is a little interesting. I'm gonna have to see what it's like on my freestyle rates, but I think so far so good. I mean, like, it's, yeah, she's getting after it. Nothing too crazy, that's for sure. I will say I need to go in and change the camera settings because it's pretty rowdy. But look, we got a guy on a lawnmower, so you probably can't hear my audio right now. That's okay. But yeah, I mean, this thing is very, very smooth. Definitely has a good tune on it. Yep, I'm loving it. What's 3.5 times 3? 3.5, that's 9, 10.5. Okay, I'm just making sure that we're not out of battery yet. I mean, we've been going for a little while. We've got, 3 minutes of battery on this thing, so that's not bad at all. And I mean, I haven't been gentle with it. Little punch out there. Oh yeah, we need to do some power loops with it. Let's see. Okay, it rolls. It rolls, she rolls. Let me go over to this playground and see if I can power loop this joker. And then we'll bring it in. Yeah, we can power loop it. Okay, cool. I'm impressed. I like the stock rates. They're not the greatest. I need to adjust some things on them maybe. I don't know, but we'll see. So far, so good. Woo! Okay. The answer is yes, it can absolutely freestyle. 100%. I'm pretty impressed by that, if I'm being honest. As you know, I fly drones all the time, and I want to make sure that you can trust my opinion on this. So we're going to be flying today with my buddy Sam. And Sam, you've never flown like a real FPV drone before. You've flown Avadas and DJIs, but you've never flown like a build your own or anything like that, right?
Nothing, never.
Sweet. So we're going to let him fly for the first time today, and then we'll get what his opinion is on that drone versus like the Avata 2 or something like that.
There we go. Oh. Okay. Oh, I think it's fighting wind. Oh, I see. I've never been in the full manual. Whoa, go down, go down. Okay, that's right. Throttle. Oh my gosh. Oh no!
Did you crash?
Oh, okay, it's on the ground. Got it.
Okay.
I tried to push it down.
All right, so you just got done flying.
Yes,
How was it?
It was dope. I hadn't flown in anything other than easy mode manual, I guess is what you call it. The Vada 2, I've been flying regular drones since 2015, way back with the P1P, but this is a completely new experience, and it's like trying to relearn a drone. But compared to, you know, the Avata, it's night and day. I'm ready to go get one right now. So I almost tried to flip it. I was like, nah, I'm not there yet. But I brought it back. But it was the turning for me that got me. So here we are.
Now let's get into some of the specs of this drone. For the ELRS version of this drone, it's going to be $105. For the Crossfire version, it's going to be $135. Now, it doesn't come with a video transmission system, so that's something that you'll have to purchase in addition to the drone. Luckily, right now, the O3 Air unit is on sale for $179, which brings your totals for this drone, if you're using an O3 Air unit, which it was kind of designed for, is $284 for the ELRS version or $314 for the Crossfire version. Now, with the weight of this drone, the drone by itself is 66.3 grams. With the O3 Air unit, it's 114.3 grams. And then with a battery as well, it is 156.9 grams. For flight time, Betafpv claims that you can get up to 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but realistically, you're looking at about 4 to 5 minutes based on how you fly this drone. For the propellers, it uses Gemfan 2218 3-blade propellers. These propellers were a collaboration between Gemfan and Betafpv. The motors are the Lava Series 1104 7200 kV brushless motors, and then the battery that it uses is a 3S battery with an XT30 connection. Now let's get into the pros and cons of this drone. Let's start off with the cons. I do not like the fact that it doesn't have a full USB port on the flight controller. I can understand why they did it, but my problem is if you lose this dongle, you can't adjust the settings on the drone unless you buy a new one. And then this is one more thing that you have to worry about and keep track of, and it would just make more sense if there was just a USB port on the flight controller. I wish the propellers didn't just slide onto the motors. I wish they were screwed in instead. This might just be the way it has to be with how small the motors are, but if you're doing freestyle flying, you're gonna be crashing more. And when you do crash, the propellers more than likely won't break because of the ducts, but they will become loose and won't grip. So you'll have to replace the propellers more often. The batteries are a little bit awkward. You can't put the battery in position and then plug it in. You have to slide it back towards the plug and then plug it in. This could have just been resolved by making the battery connector on the drone a 90-degree angle, and then there would have been no problems with it. Or honestly, I could unsolder it and then put it through the frame and solder it back, but that's not the way that this drone is supposed to function, so I'll have to fix that on my own. Now for the pros. I like the factory rates that it's shipped with. Now, I obviously changed the rates for my style of flying, but I will say as a baseline for a first-time buyer or someone who doesn't experiment with rates much, you'll find that they are smooth and they work really well. The drone, in fact, does freestyle really well. It has plenty of power to pull out of dives and different tricks, and I don't feel like the ducts cause any issues with the flight characteristics versus a non-ducted drone, which was something I was really impressed to see. The weight to power ratio is awesome. Some of these smaller drones can feel heavy when you are freestyling them, almost as if they don't have enough power to pull out of a dive, but I did not experience it all with this drone. I had full power throughout, and I was very confident every single time I went for a dive. The flight times are really good. I don't drain my batteries very low like most pilots do, but I was still getting 3 to 4 minutes and only discharging my batteries to 3.8. So I'm sure if you pushed it, you could probably get another minute out of it, but I'd be interested to see why Betafpv says you can get 6 minutes and 40 seconds out of it. The frame and the ducts feel so sturdy. I've only had one crash with it into the grass, but honestly, I'm not worried about the durability of this drone at all, minus my issues with the propellers. It feels super solid. The repairability for if you do crash seems fairly easy. The motors plug in and don't solder, and the ducts can be attached easily, and so can the VTX holder or the O3 holder. And my final thoughts on this drone, overall, I think this drone is a really solid drone. It's versatile in the things it can do. It can freestyle, but you can also tune it to do slow cinematic flights and fly it indoors. The ability to repair it easily is a big plus. The weight and how it flies, along with the flight time, makes it the perfect option option if you are wanting to fly something really small but still be able to push your skills to do freestyle. And while you're freestyling, it's a little bit safer with the prop guards and the size of it, so that might make it a better option for someone who is wanting to get into freestyling. So what do you think about the drone? Are you going to add it to your fleet? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, would you like to see a comparison between the Pavo 20 Pro and maybe some other Betafpv drones, or even the FlyLens 85? Let me know down below. If you've enjoyed this content, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and support me on Patreon so I can keep making more videos just like this.